Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of AI DevTools. In this episode, we're going to talk about DevTools API and implementation strategies on how you can build AI driven retail applications. And joining us today is Megha, who is a senior program manager at Amazon. Hi, Megha, and welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much. First of all, I'm super excited to be here and thanks for this opportunity to talk to you all about my experience. As you mentioned, I'm Megha Hooli. I'm a senior program manager at Amazon now. My background essentially is I'm an engineer by education and I have a master's in business analytics with University of Texas at Dallas. In my journey, I took very different roles, business, program, product manager roles were very in depth of technical, right, as a technical product manager or a project manager, and worked across many industries like healthcare, e-commerce, warehouse automations, or fuel pricing, and many more industries. As I've tried everything to make sure that we are um, in a AI trends or provide the technical knowledge that I can provide. And for me, the common thread in all of them is technology and data have the power to transfer business into improve the customer experience. Because I'm always the person that who love tackling challenges and hands-on picking new technology quickly and finding a ways to improve the process. That's about me. Don't want to take more time on talking about myself. Let's get started. So, I have spent my last decade working on intersection of AI-driven SaaS platform, enterprise automation, and product innovation. Much of my work has focused enabling cross-functional teams from data scientists to product engineers to scale intelligent system that just don't work and truly deliver value, which is very much needed right now. Today, I'm super excited to walk you through technical journey of Smart Dev Assistant AI agent mode in VS Code with focus on how developers can lead retail AI transformation using robust skills, agile workflows, and scalable infrastructure. Okay, whether you're building recommendation engineers or monitoring models in production or just getting started with MLOps, hope this session will help you with anything that you need. Let's begin by looking at the behind the transformation. Retail AI development has grown drastically, right? If we rewind to the early 2000, as you can see in the slide, it's just 12 AI research articles that were published, and it was focused basically on decision trees, mostly rule-based systems for things like if user buys X, then give them the show them the Y, all right, or if the user buy A and B, then maybe give them the C. We never thought about during that time that if the user don't know what actually wants it from the data that we previously had it to show it. But today in 2023, we are in the era of transforms and reinformation of learning and GANs. These models power personalized experience, dynamic pricing, even supply chain optimization. Consider this number of AI publication in retail jumped from few hundreds to 847 in 2023, driven largely by ML tools like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and open cloud platforms. At company, right, being from there, for example, we use deep learning for everything from anticipating customer demand to auto-generated item description. These are just from the scratch surface from the data that seeing what our user actually wants it from not from one user, right, it from the millions of users that has been used on those description and how do they proceed. This surge has brought into new kind of architecture, right? The modern retail AI systems are built on a foundation of real-time data and microservices. Picture a system that analyzed 150 customer attributes in a real time, things like preferred price point, clicking bound behavior, or even device types, right? recent one of the examples that I've seen, that right, even if the people are buying something from Android, the prices were very changed compared to the Apple devices. Same way, there's a trend that has been observed from our users, that what kind of a device user, what do they use it. On the development side, nearly 70% of the retail AI research today on deep learning. We use frameworks like BERT4REC, which applies transform-based model to understand user browsing sequence. This alone can lead into 23 to 30% improvement in recommendation accuracy. One of the recent papers that I've read about is the major beauty retail industry that is using bird based model on the personalized homepage layout based on the recent research and research terms and previous purchase, which they have seen 22% lift through on the click through rates, right? For an user, it is very, for an app, it is very important that the way the users are clicking. The small models on AI has can change the business altogether. Okay, let's take a moment to pause here. Despite of all this innovation, only 1 out of 10 AI development in retail leads to a real business ROI. This is pretty surprising whenever we hear the number for the first time, but let's look why. The technical challenges go above beyond the tuning, right? We often see data pipelining that aren't production ready, no food feedback loop for model drift, or API that were built without clear consumption strategy. That's when the lot of product and program managers and business analyst or a business leader comes into picture to drive this AI really well. For retail company, trained to get a right recommendation model, but it wasn't just used because of a front end app team, right? It has to be easy with integrations with API as well. Now let's look at practical approach to making this work in production. We saw that how 1 out of 10 are the AI development tools were only working. So looking at the approach, generative AI for forecasting, think about inventory system. Retailers deal with 20 to 50 features like historical sales, holidays, even weather. With LSTM and transformers, we can generate forward looking insight to predict what SKUs to restock, in what quantity, right? And when. For example, some of the big industry like Target or Walmart or including Amazon, user demands forecasting model that adjust inventory in a real time, because we just can't have all the stuffs in the inventory and the warehouse and then we don't know when the user gonna buy it, right? So it's important for us to forecast major events like back to school or holiday season or Black Friday or Christmas events, right? So it is well in advance, maybe a month prior or 2 months prior. The team start working on to see that what the forecasting will look for this event. Real time personalization, archiving 75% of accuracy in personalized means optimizing for speed, like using Kafka or microservices or retail process. User click instantly, recommend next best offer under 100 milliseconds, right? One of the fashion conversation rate jump 18% simply by switching formulas, which I've seen some of the retails like Temu or anywhere that you see a lot of discounts that they're putting in, because you just click through it and they know that they want you to buy it, so they make sure that put with a nice offer. So this is how we do it in the real world. And scalable architectures, using Kubernetes, you can horizontally scale workloads during peak scales events like, as I said, Black Friday. At We built internal tools that the scale models serving up and down based on the requested volume to ensure consistency, let us say, without over promising. We have seen in the last few years, before the page used to load more when there is an offer, we're not able to click, or we have seen that how do I proceed further. But currently, because thanks to AI/ML model that you can see because of Kubernetes, uh, with the current industry that we have, it loads faster and we see the results faster. MLOps pipelines for retail AI, let's really zoom into it to see the backbone that powers all this, right? We started with data collection and ETL, pulling customer and product data into feature stories, right? It's important that what we are building, if you're not making into feature, just we are building something, then if the requirements are not written well, then we cannot proceed. So it's important the data collections and processing in the ETL. CI/CD plannings allow each model interaction to go through validations, right? It's important that we have a pipeline, so we're not doing anything manually, being in the uh, AI world now. So using like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and A/B testing, it's important that how much the talk is happening with A/B testing. We make sure that giving different insight to our users to see that what they exactly wanted. Do you like the button to be blue, black, red, green? So giving all that to the different users to see that who is clicking which color is also is driven by AI. That's when the technology is going. Yeah, like Docker and Kubernetes help to push these models into production at scale. A system like this monitors retain on drift and keeps the performance on check, which is the beauty of the MLOps pipelines. Moving on, now let's talk about the API because they they are where your models meet the user, right? The interaction between the API and the UI, which really shows you that what exactly it is. Great APIs are faster, secure, and flexible. REST is great for simple product calls. GraphQL is a perfect for nested structures like outfit, grep ideas for internal high-speed microservice communication. But it's important, don't not it does not forget catching authentication and rate limiting of all which impact the customer experience. So keeping the security, privacy of our user, with that giving them the faster and more accurate system is important. So APIs plays a very major role in that. So considering this is one of the major things for any of the product development. Before any model is trained, the real-time battle is won or lost the data pre-processing. Use feature tools to automate feature engineering or DQ validation on the large-scale attribution sets. Embedding tools, transforming logs into dense vector that boost the like quality to 15 to 20%. As I've given an example of Kafka, the Kafka streams allows real-time feature updates every interaction, increasing the personalization. Once you click on, if you go to Amazon.com, if you click on the pencil, it also gives the real-time examples of the other pencils that you can buy it from, right? Or the fancier ones, or which you never thought that is there in the market right now. So that in the back end, maybe Kafka or ActiveMQ or some of the processing are helping to make the system smarter. Model strategy for real-time personalization. Your development strategy must fit your model's purpose. If you're making something and it is not reaching the purpose, and there's no point of having that. Some of them are TensorFlow serving or Onyx real-time help with the interface. Docker containers provide reproducibility, right? TensorFlow's light on edge devices can reduce latency up to 60% of a real-time in-store interaction. And of course, A/B testing lets you trial multiple versions, automatically roll back when it is needed. Again, going back to the same example that I was going on, the different colors of the buttons, the A/B testing would see that if the users are buying, if the button is more of a green because they feel it is more relatable or the lighter color. So then we can switch behind for the people that who had a red and giving out the green, will they click through it? So those kind of a testing really helps here. Monitoring framework, let's not forget this metrics. On this technical side, track frictions, recall, latency, throat drift, and system health. On this business side, tie your models with the key KPIs, is what I always I say. And important to know what is the conversion rate or what is the order value, revenue, and the engagement. As a TPM, I track revenue attribution from A/B tests to ensure value delivery. If we don't have the value for the delivery, then there's no point of having it, right? Just because we have a time and we want to show it to make sure that it is automated, but if it is taking more time than the general it is, then there's no point of it. So it's very, very, very important to have tie the models with key KPIs. Okay, so I put this one on the last to see that how key to successful AI implementation work. So how do we ensure long-term success, right? That is one of the things that we always ask anything that we build. First of all, very important, build a cross-functional teams, align engineers, scientists, and analysts from the start. From the beginning that you thought you start gonna build the some of the AI tools or internal, external, or you want to link it to the APIs, anything that we're building, get together everybody, make sure everyone is on the same plate, and use CI/CD and A/B testing to release models faster. So we're not taking, we're in the agile world. It is not like a waterfall that we used to do before. So make sure that you're going fast. And depending on the A/B testing, trial with users, do not give the full fledged, which we are not sure that whether our users will like it or not. Customize everything and prioritize data quality is governance, validation, and feature stories. Make sure the data is right, feed more data to the system as much as you can, run on internal data for the company that we have, or any data which is available for you, feed it, try it, validate it really well, and make sure the feature stories are aligned with ROI. Set a success matrix, track both technical and business performance, make sure that you have everything needed to call it as whether this project successful. In the A/B testing, if it is not, it's okay to move on than getting it stuck. Okay, this closes the loop between dev work and ROI, that how the world has drastically changed for us. Yes, to wrap up, AI is not just about building smart models, it's about building systems, ones that scale, adopt, and deliver real business value. The smart dev assistant in VS Codes bring development, testing, deployment, and monitoring into the intelligent workflow, which is very important. It's not that what we build, what we maintain it, what we monitor it. I think that's all I had. Thank you so much for your time.